Welcome to MindSwitch Books. Today, we're climbing the one mountain that's really, truly holding you back. And here's a secret. It's not out there somewhere in the world. It's inside you. We're going to dive deep into Brianna Wiest's incredible book, The Mountain is You, to figure out why you might just be your own biggest obstacle, and more importantly, how you can finally get out of your own way for good. You know the feeling, right? You have a goal, this big dream, this vision for your life, but something just keeps pulling you back. You take a few steps forward, and then bam, you find yourself right back where you started, wondering, why do I keep tripping over my own feet? If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in exactly the right place. This book tackles that feeling head on. Just let this quote sink in for a moment. The real challenge isn't mastering the mountain, it's mastering yourself. This is the core idea of the whole book. See, we spend so much of our lives trying to conquer all these external things, our jobs, our relationships, our situations. But the real unconquered territory, that's the mountain inside each of us. So over the next few minutes, we're going on a journey together. First, we'll explore what this mountain actually is. Then, we're going to uncover the shocking truth about why we self-sabotage. After that, we'll identify all the sneaky ways it shows up in our lives. And most importantly, we'll lay out the path to finally conquer it. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll have a clear map from self-sabotage to self-mastery. All right, let's start the climb. Brianna Wiest kicks things off with this really radical idea. What if the parts of yourself that you fight against, the blocks you see as failures, what if they're actually your greatest calling? She argues that these aren't weaknesses you need to get rid of. No, they're challenges that are meant to forge you into the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. So where does this mountain even come from? Well, it's born from this deep internal conflict. I want you to picture two giant tectonic plates pushing against each other. One plate is your conscious mind. It knows you want to be healthy, successful, and happy. But the other plate? That's your unconscious mind. It's running on old programming, old fears, and unmet needs, and it's holding you back for reasons you probably don't even understand yet. That friction, that intense pressure, well, that's your mountain. Okay, so this internal conflict leads us straight to the truth about self-sabotage. And this, right here, is where the book delivers a major, major breakthrough. So I want you to prepare to unlearn pretty much everything you've been told. Self-sabotage is not a character flaw. It is not a sign of weakness. It's something way more profound. Just look at this comparison. On one side, you have what we usually think, that we're weak, or we lack willpower, or maybe we just hate ourselves. But Wiest completely flips us on its head. She says self-sabotage is actually a shield. It's a misguided attempt at self-protection. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's desperately trying to help you meet some deep, unmet need in the only way it knows how. The book uses this key psychological term, a maladaptive coping mechanism. And it's such a brilliant way to think about it. Procrastinating on that huge project? It's probably not just laziness. It might be your brain's way of avoiding the fear of failure, giving you the safety of never really trying. Or, staying in a bad relationship? It might not be a lack of self-respect. It could be meeting a deep-seated need to not be alone. The behavior is just the symptom, not the real cause. So if self-sabotage isn't just obvious self-destruction, what does it actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Well, a lot of the time, it's disguised as these seemingly normal, even respectable behaviors. Let's unmask some of the most common forms right now. And this is just how sneaky it can be. Perfectionism? That's not about having high standards. It's really a fear of being judged, so you never finish anything. What about resistance to things that are good for you? That's just your comfort zone fighting back against anything new and unfamiliar. Constantly needing a fresh start. Oh, that's just avoiding the hard work of real commitment and growth. And my favorite, being busy, that might just be the ultimate distraction from facing what's really wrong. See yourself in any of these? I know I do. If any of this is hitting home, it's because these are such universal human struggles. So take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out a ton, and maybe share this with a friend who's climbing their own mountain. You never know who really needs to hear this exact message today. Okay, so we've identified the mountain and we've unmasked the saboteur. Now for the most important part. How do we actually climb it? The book lays out a super clear, actionable path to move from being a victim of your own behaviors to the master of your own life. This is the journey from breakdown to breakthrough. And this path to mastery is a 5-step process. First, radical honesty. You have to stop making excuses and just admit what isn't working. Second, you become a detective. What core need is your sabotage trying to meet? Is it safety? Is it control? Is it love? Third, you reframe your triggers. They aren't threats. They're literally signposts pointing you toward where you need to heal. Fourth, build your emotional intelligence. Learn to feel your feelings without letting them drive the car. And finally, and this is the absolute game changer, disconnect your action from your feeling. You learn to do what you committed to, whether you feel like it or not.
This quote right here gets to the heart of it all. How many times have we told ourselves, oh, I'll do it when I feel like it? That's the biggest lie we believe. Wiest argues that true self-mastery is born in the moment you decide to act based on your commitment, not your mood. See, action creates motivation, not the other way around. This one insight alone is the key that can unlock absolutely everything.
So what happens when you commit to this climb? What does life actually look like when you stop sabotaging yourself and you start mastering yourself? It's about so much more than just achieving your goals. It's about reclaiming your entire existence.
This might be one of the most powerful ideas in the entire book. See, the path forward requires a kind of mourning. You have to let go of old habits, maybe even old relationships. And at first, it's going to feel like a loss. But what you're really losing is a life that was built on your limitations. You're shedding a skin that was made for a version of you that you've already outgrown. It's not a loss, it's an evolution. So let's bring it all together. Here's the core wisdom from our climb today. 1. Your biggest challenge is your path forward. 2. Self-sabotage is just a confused attempt to keep you safe. 3. Your triggers aren't your enemies, they're actually your guides. 4. The real secret to change is to act, even when you don't feel ready. And 5. The ultimate goal isn't to conquer the world, but to master yourself.
And I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you know the mountain is you, what's the very first, tiny step you'll take on your climb today? Drop your answer in the comments below. Look, we have covered a lot today, but this explainer is really just the trail map. The actual journey, the deep inner work, all the detailed techniques for understanding your core needs and rebuilding your emotional foundation, that whole transformative process is laid out step by step inside the pages of The Mountain is You. So if you're ready to stop being your own obstacle and start becoming your own hero, I honestly can't recommend this book enough. We've dropped a link in the description for you to grab your own copy. Think of it as your essential gear for the most important climb of your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this gave you a new perspective, just imagine what you could learn next week. Make sure you subscribe to MindSwitch Books and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the key ideas from books that can genuinely change your life.